Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the It Doesn't Matter podcast. We have myself, John Strapfax, and we also have
The Dominican Dream, baby. This is the brand new Papi Platino.
there he is, and we have
This one.
That's right, we're covering a notable pay-per-view in the history of professional wrestling, WCW Bash at the Beach, 1994. Notable for its main event, but for many things in World Championship Wrestling. Dom, let's get talking about Bash at the Beach.
All right, this is my pick right here. We're going to go live from Orlando, Florida, and we kick off the show with Tony Schiavone, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Mean Gene Okerlund. And just like John said, we finally are getting the Hogan-Ric Flair match we should have got 2 years ago at this time at WrestleMania 8, but we're getting it on the WCW platform right here. So they're going to kick off the show with Darren Norwood singing the national anthem. John, who the hell is Darren Norwood?
I think he's related to Scott Dunlap. Hey, the national anthem, it's a very divisive thing. Like, you know how it's been part of WrestleManias, and you know how it's been part of WrestleManias, those 7-hour, one-night WrestleManias? Now, as a true patriot, as a true American, would you rather have the national anthem, as part of WrestleMania, as part 8 p.m., 8:01 p.m., as part of that, or, before that, before the video packages, before the Then, Now, and Forever? When do you think the national anthem should be part of a big show like WrestleMania?
I'll say right after the Then, Now, Forever.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. It should be part of the show. I mean, as a sports guy, you hear it all the time when the games start anyway, so maybe before. Maybe before the game starts.
It's always something, it's kind of like, listen, these shows are really long, and you could put that before the show begins, because then, if you're watching the show back on Peacock, you're going to have to sit through it again, or fast forward it. So,
what kind of patriot are you?
One that likes to value my time as an American. But anyway, so you have that going on, the national anthem. I don't know who that guy was, but he seemed to do a pretty decent job, I thought.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. Can't complain.
Yeah.
All right, so after this, we get a video package of Sting getting attacked by sensacious Sherry, and she disguised as a guy at the moment.
Or forever.
Oh, jeez.
So it's supposed to be Sting taking on William Regal or Steven Regal for the TV title.
Yes.
But he got a replacement. We got Johnny B. Bad, Mark Merrow taking his spot. So your opening match, you have Johnny B. Bad taking on Steven Regal with Bill Dundee, also known as, what's his name? Sir William.
Yep.
What was his name? Yep.
Wow, that was Bill Dundee, huh?
That was Bill Dundee, yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
For the TV title. And it's crazy. It still amazes me that Johnny B. Bad wasn't black, because he had a good ass tan again.
Yo, the perfect imitation of Little Richard was right there. I mean, I was like, okay, I can see why everybody got behind this badass. But you got me with that too. I was like, oh, he's Jewish, from Brooklyn, I think, or Queens,
Yeah,
somewhere from New York, right?
Upstate New York, yeah, I want to say.
Okay.
And then for the referee, we have Nick Patrick with a buzz cut.
That threw me off completely. I'm so used to seeing Nick Patrick with that mullet or whatever it is sometimes he has. I'm just like, get? Corporate Nick.
So this is your opening match right here. And then I thought personally it was a great opening match because WCW at that time in the early 90s, you had either Johnny B. Bad, Brian Pillman, or Steven Regal to kick off the show, not your cruiserweight. And they basically set the tone of the night. What do you guys think?
I would agree with that because anytime you hear a Lord Steven Regal or William Regal match, for me, as a personal guy that loves technical wrestling, I'm sitting there, I'm watching because he's going to put on the show and he's going to show you a masterpiece, no matter who it is. And then you show John B. Bad, which I wasn't really too familiar because I wasn't watching WCW at that time, but what a character. And from what I heard, the old man wanted him when he came to WWF, but unfortunately he couldn't sign that character itself. But what a great match! Like you said, great start, great back and forth. There was a lot of times where I thought Johnny B. Bad was going to pull it off, but I'll let John get into the meat and potatoes of that.
Meat and potatoes. Well, I don't have much in the way of the meat and potatoes, but I love the way they used Steven Regal back in that time. When I started watching WCW, he wasn't. I mean, they still regard him well as a good worker, but it seemed like he got more of a pushback in 1994 and 95 than he did in 96 and 97. Maybe he was a different person. He might have been behind the scenes, so we're not really sure. But it was a very good showing. Johnny B. Bad coming out there, full of energy, and it's just amazing to think again where these guys would be in a mere 2 years. Where Johnny B. Bad would be, and this guy is over, man. And why, everyone gets released and let go for a reason, but so many of these guys up and down the card here, it was kind of like, for this show, Bash of the Beach, it was the end of the old guard and in with the new old guard, that is. And like I said, we'll run down the matches, and we'll go into this very feature many times during this show. But so it was a very good opening match, but nothing I would put in my, top pantheon of great opening matches for shows that we review.
I agree.
Yeah, so Johnny B. Bad dominated the match, but Regal got the win by basically folding this man up for the pin.
Well, he grabbed the tights at the very end, if you didn't catch that.
Nick Patrick didn't catch it. But
he ain't gonna catch nothing.
Matter. So after this, we see Mean Gene Okerlund inside the ring, and he's presenting an award to Antonio Inoki, and Regal comes out talking trash, and then after this, Regal said he will whoop on Inoki, and then Inoki takes his jacket off, and Regal just basically runs away.
Yeah. Not happening. Inoki, even at that point in his career, he'd still probably tie a bunch of guys in pretzels, so I wouldn't try that. But maybe they were trying something with was it New Japan he had or All Japan? I don't know what was going on. Okay, so yeah, I think they were probably doing like a Worlds Collide thing starting up right around that time. Because I think Eric just got the book around that time. Because he was one of the guys that signed Hogan, I believe, right? If I'm correct.
Easy?
Yeah, I think E was running the show right now.
Yeah, he made the call.
So I think because his connection with, he had his friend, oh man, it's going to elude me, and it's probably going to piss me off when I find out the end of the show. John, you probably know what I'm talking about.
Who killed WCW?
No, that's right. Yeah. They're probably dealing with Antonio Inoki with the whole New Japan collision in North Korea, which would happen the next year. So this is probably just the baby steps getting into that. Because I know that they really wanted Hogan, but Hogan was like, doesn't work for me, brother.
Imagine that, Hogan in North Korea.
We got to find that show. We got to find that WCW and New Japan show, Collision in Korea, because they don't have it on the network or Peacock.
You'll never find it.
They got to have it on YouTube or something.
I don't think that'll even show up on YouTube. There's no way. If they did, whoever has it, that's one of the holy grails of PLEs, or not really PLEs, but special events.
I want to watch all that stuff that's not on the network anymore. I want to see the Chris Benoit tribute show again. Unedited.
It's not on the network?
No, they took it off. They made it a best of 2007 championships. I Googled it.
Bueno.
All right, so after this, Bobby the Brain Heenan gets off commentary, and we get Jesse the Body Ventura on commentary. In our next match is Vader with Harley Race taking on the Guardian Angel. Plot to know, who is the Guardian Angel? Let the people know.
That is the Big Boss Man, also known as Ray Traylor.
Also
from
known
Cobb
as
County Journey.
Big Bubba.
Yeah, Big Bubba Rogers. No, is that Big Bubba Rogers?
Yep, Big Bubba Rogers, the Boss Man, the Boss, the Guardian Angel. He had one more other name in WCW. I can't think of the name right now.
It's gonna piss me off too now that I think about it. if I remember correctly.
It's something with law enforcement, like the firemen or something like that. Who knows? It's something down that line, down the whole police angel type guy. He had one more name. I cannot think what it was.
I mean, he should just team up with Big Brother Brutai and coming up with multiple gimmicks, multiple names. Pick one, choose one. Because, he showed up here as the guardian angel, and it's like, come on, man, that's the big boss, man. And we know he would go back to his Big Bubba Rogers character later on, but they had this name, they had another name for him after this. It was just a hot mess. But he still worked well in the ring, and he was still charismatic in the ring, so he was just finding his footing, minus his old ring name.
He was still fairly young at that time, too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, he looks like he's older than what he is, because a lot of these guys I'm looking, because I think I was watching it with Nikki, my missus, and she was looking at it. She's like, how old are these guys at this time? I'm like, 30-something. They're like our age. She's like, what? I said, yeah, we age a lot different now.
Yep. Who do you think had the best gimmick from WWF that went to WCW between the Boss Man, Brutus Beefcake, and Earthquake?
Which out of the three had the best one?
Yeah, who had like the best WCW gimmick?
Hey, yo. I don't care. No, I don't know. I would probably have to say Bossman. He was the most relevant for all those years. Those other guys, they had one or two runs, and then
Brother Brutai, he had a memorable moments.
So who are our contenders? I knew them, and then I forgot them as soon as I tried to think about it.
Like, for the longest time, I didn't know Brutus Beefcake was the Butcher.
So we're talking about Brutus Beefcake, Big Boss Man, and who else?
John Tenta, Earthquake.
Oh, well, the man with many gimmicks is attributed to Mr. Ed Leslie, the Butcher, yep. Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Big Bubba Rogers. The
disciple. That's what he was.
Yeah, he did have a lot of changes, as we're making fun of right now, but he did go back to the Bubba Rogers character, and even after that, sticking to the Big Boss Man character. So I would say he had less turnover as a different personality. So.
You don't like the Avalanche?
The Avalanche, the Shark. I'm going to bite you, Hogan.
Jesus. No wonder why they were just like off. Jesus Christ.
Where the big boys play with their coloring books.
All right, so back to this match with Vader and the Guardian Angel. Guardian Angel, he was getting busy. And at this time, Vader was getting slammed left and right. And I noticed that he took a lot of bumps in this match. Like, you're a big man. You got to stay off your feet, man, or stay on your feet.
They said he was like 400 plus at that time, right?
Yeah, I feel like every guy at some point slammed Vader. Like, he enjoyed the bump or something like that.
Yeah, but it was kind of like Andre. It was like special towards certain guys. I mean, eventually we all saw the videos of Andre being slammed by all these guys: Hogan, Flair, freaking Harley, and a whole bunch of names. But for me, just because I didn't really grow up watching Vader and you more was WCW guy, maybe you saw it more. I didn't, and just thinking that guy is like you said, 4 plus. I mean, Big Bubba was like three and some change, so it's feasible. But if, say, you said you had like Macho Man slamming him, I was like, no way. There's no way Macho's gonna be slamming Vader. Then I would have been like, all right, that's impressive.
But Vader is short. He's not a big man. He's a short man.
That's a big dude, though.
That's a short bus Vader.
That's more the lineman. That's my left guard.
Abel's Mount Rushmore of big men from a few weeks ago. Whatever episode that was. Oh, the Kevin Nash episode.
Nicole Bass.
I'm talking about tall guys. Nicole Bass.
I'm the Grand Sumo Champion. Akibono.
Jesus.
Anyhow,
Yeah, but
pour
Vader
one
was
out.
getting busy this match.
Vader, yeah.
He hit the splash, then he got back up, hit the moonsault, but for some reason that the Guardian Angels got up from that moonsault. Like he didn't connect flush. But
He looked like
Harley
he
Race
connected pretty good.
I don't know, because he just got up like nothing. Because Harley Race tried to interfere with the nightstick. And then the Guardian Angel, he grabbed it, and next you know, I forgot who the ref was, maybe Nick Patrick again. Seen it.
Might have been Pee Wee, if I remember.
Well, that's corny. Like, come on, WCW. Your booking really does suck. Well, for this one, it does. No
You
dusty
got the
finish
first
here.
match. It wasn't a dusty finish for say, but I mean, the first match you got like a little bit of a cheat. The second one, interference, unnecessary interference, just to have Big Bubba just. It was kind of like, eh. I mean, I didn't care anyway. I didn't really know what the big deal was, but I mean, typical WCW. Two big guys that don't want to probably put one each other over. All right, DQ. Figure it out.
Terrible.
Nah.
After this,
What you think,
Guardian
John?
Angel probably changed his gimmick.
To the boss.
Yeah. That's the one, Your Honor.
Strap, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, I liked it. You know, I thought they worked well together. Even though, from what it sounds like the ex WWF guys are taking advantage of these WCW guys, and they don't fight back. But I don't know. Vader still kept his imposing nature, and he helped maintain a decent buy rate against newly arrived Hulk Hogan at Super Brawl and Uncensored. So people were still interested in Vader at the time, but who knows what his position was here. He had been running roughshod over WCW for the past 2-3 years, so this was his spot on the show. And he did okay. Who knows? But again, who knows what happens with the Guardian Angel and where Ray Trailer ended up. But I thought the match was okay.
It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. Just wish the finish was different, but it doesn't matter. That was 30 years ago. Both men not here today to talk about it, unfortunately.
Call the cops.
All right, so after this, we get a video package of Dustin Rhodes and Terry Funk. Boy, that was random. It was real
What was
random. That wasn't me.
I didn't know you can activate a window fan with your toes.
Mute button, baby.
Sorry, baby. It's hot in here. If all the heat is killing me. I can fry an egg out here. I could be like John eating pork and beans. But I ain't gonna have no king and queens up in here. They gonna say, dummy, I'm out.
All right.
Alrighty then.
So back to Dustin Rhodes and Terry Funk. So they showed a little video package how Dustin needs a partner because Terry Funk's partner at the time was Bunkhouse Buck. And they showed Terry Funk running through the ramp. The clothesline Dustin. I was cracking up. Terry was running like full speed and just clotheslined him. And then he hit him with the branding iron. Dustin sold that one. That shit wasn't even hot.
Terry was nuts even way before this, but just to see where he's going to be, like you said, 2-3 years from now at ECW, it's just like, hey, what the hell? You can see the little patterns that were going to happen for a different company, but I mean, once I saw it was Dustin and Arn, I was thinking to myself, it's going to be a decent match. Arn's a great tag team guy, and Dustin knows what he's doing in the ring. Even at that point in his career, he was one of those guys that could get in the ring and get it. But Bunkhouse Buck and Terry, I don't know, not my cup of tea. But something I always read up on though, the Andersons and the Rhodes, and I'll save that for later on in the match.
Before we get to the next segment of the show, John, I got a question for you. Strap moment. See if you remember. Bunkhouse Buck appeared in an episode, I believe, of SmackDown. who was his son? He was the father of somebody. Do you remember?
The All-American Jake Hager.
Oh, you do remember. Okay, there you go.
Get the fuck out of here. He
Yep.
played his dad.
He played Jack Swagger's dad.
Wow. Wow.
But he was no
Strat facts always on it.
He was no Swagger's Soaring Eagle, though. Yeah, you know that one? The mascot?
Yeah, you can tell I wasn't watching.
Right. Yeah, he had a mascot. It was a bald eagle called the Swagger Soaring Eagle. And
oh my fucking god! No wonder why I didn't like him.
Yeah, man. I look at this Bunkhouse Buck character. I'm like, my god, this is so WCW. You know, that's a Cody Deaner of Ben, man. And he was there with Tennessee Lee, Colonel Robert Parker.
Colonel Robert Parker. I got on a future episode of Wrestling That Made Us. I want both you guys to be on the episode because I want to show y'all a match. John might remember. I know Abel hasn't seen it. It is Dustin Rhodes versus the Blacktop Bully. Do you know who the Blacktop Bully is?
How does that name come to?
The Blacktop Bully is Smash from Demolition, the Repo Man.
Really?
Yes, and they're fighting on a moving truck, like a tractor trailer.
Oh, I've seen that match.
It had like haystacks and
yep,
and they both got fired after this match.
Yep, I remember watching that
for bleeding.
You are
We definitely got to check that out on Wrestling That Made Us.
That is one of those things where it's like, how do you avoid that? Maybe was it hard way or was it by accident or they just said, screw it, we're gonna get in trouble, we're gonna do it anyway.
I honestly don't know, but I feel like it didn't need it.
The name of the show isn't Wrestling That Made Us Mad, Dom.
Exactly.
It's all about the good and the bad.
I don't know about that. I want the good.
That's not the good.
Get rid of the bad.
The bad. That's the funny stuff.
For your new show, the matches that made you look like a fool.
Dom's fourth show.
Oh God! No, I think I heard it was on a pay-per-view, so they were trying to figure out why the complaint was. It's like, you're on pay-per-view, you're allowed to bleed, but I guess Ted Turner and whatever the company was running, they were like, nope, no blood, just like Vinnie Mac was for all these years. No blood. Now he's gone. Netflix wants sangre.
I know that guy.
So I'm looking at it right now. Dustin Rhodes with the Blacktop Bully was the King of the Road match.
Yep. Couldn't remember the name of that. I know it was King of something. The match itself is so freaking dangerous. If you think about it.
Uncensored, 1995.
Another reason to get mad now. Now you're pissing me off.
Yeah.
You're on a show, uncensored, and you bleed.
You want more
uncensored? Who cares?
You want more uncensored madness, Abel? It was the Hogan and Flair in Uncensored 99. It's a cage match. Where are you going to bleed other than a cage match? And when they started bleeding, it was a wide shot the whole time.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
They didn't want to show you blood, so they went to a wide shot. We're not even trying to hide that.
Anything for the fans, brother.
Hogan must pose.
Hogan must bleed.
Back to Bash of the Beach 94. So before that match took place between Dustin and Arn Anderson and Bunkhouse Buck, they showed a preview of what happened earlier in the day. They had some radio hosts, Ron and Ron, went against some chick named Molly in the handicap match, and Jimmy Hart was the referee.
Wait, that really happened? I thought I made it up in my head.
Like, why would they even show what happened earlier in the day? Like 10 people in the crowd. They've
done stuff like that before at other shows I've been to. They just, the local radio crew, they have like a pretend fight, and they do it pre-show, so no one really gets harmed by it. But I can imagine, some of my local radio shock jock guys doing something like that. But this
We
is
should
just
do that.
awful.
We should do that down here. We should have the host of 92.9, Cool Ray and Mike Mitchell take on Maxime Dupree in the handicap match. Who will win that one?
Have them go against Marty Bell.
Nah, they like that too much.
I would too.
I'm going against Martha Marks.
Oh, jeez. Whose house is going up for sale after that?
Oh, Lord.
Martha Marks.
You don't want to go?
I'm coming for you.
Might have to tag her in this.
No.
Why?
I'm going to get fired before I even come back. Oh, jeez.
What, you tired of her flyers too?
I said I'm going to get fired before I get back. Notorious strikes again.
Martha Marks, you call me one more time, I'm going to come find you.
And I'm not going to vote for you. Maybe.
Buy me some dinner first.
Recovery room. All right.
Local politics.
Yes.
All right. So our next match, we have Bunkhouse Buck and Terry Funk taking on Dustin Rhodes and Arn Anderson. Strap, why was Arn just like floundering around at this time? How come he wasn't like in Flair's corner later on that night?
I gotta tell you, Dom, on my own time, I was watching things like Slamboree 1993, a Legends reunion, main event, Vader and the British Bulldog. And you have this Bash of the Beach, literally a little over 1 year later, in WCW. It's very similar, but very different. Everyone was doing different things. Like, the show I watched, the Slamboree, pretty Paul Roma just became a Four Horseman. Not a very popular decision, and he would leave the Four Horsemen very shortly after that. And what is he doing on this show? He's part of a tag team with Mr. Wonderful. As Pretty Wonderful, and it's like, okay, that means he was teaming with Arn Anderson. And I don't know. WCW was just crazy. That's why I kind of want to go back and watch, early 90s WCW. It was just a crazy time that I don't know and I'm not aware of, as well as WWF things. But yeah, it was just weird to see Arn Anderson here. He was teaming with Dustin Rhodes, and they were a face. And God damn it, if he didn't do what they always damn do. Seriously, I'm watching the match, and it's whatever. And they're like, and Arn Anderson, he's playing that fake Randy Orton baby face. Like, yeah, get him. Yeah, get him. Fucking turns on him at the end of the match. God damn it. Go for it again, because I did not expect it. I did not know it was coming, because I don't know this period of time with these guys, Oh, man.
I kind of saw it coming. I don't know. I read up on the whole history with the Rhodes and the Andersons, and how many betrayals that Dusty had finally just didn't realize, hey, every time you tag with the Andersons, something happens. So I'm just like, oh, that's how you revisit history. Another Rhodes, another Anderson, another betrayal, another stab in the back.
I know that Sting is a cuck for Ric Flair. He gets turned on by Ric Flair all the damn time, but I didn't realize Dustin Rhodes had the same problem with Arn Anderson. Gosh,
Arn Anderson and the Nature Boy and the Four Horsemen, they broke Dusty's leg back in the day. Don't forget that.
Yep. And they incited a huge riot that night. The crazy thing is, that wasn't even the main event of the night. They broke Dusty's leg. That wasn't?
I don't know. I'm asking you. I know it happened in the parking lot, so.
I think it was Nikita Koloff versus somebody else for the World Heavyweight title. It might have been Vader, if I remember correctly. Because I believe it was a tag team match. Flair and Anderson. I forget. May have been the Midnights. And then something where Dusty came in, and that's when they broke his leg. I know I got the timing wrong. I definitely got the tag teams wrong. But I just remember hearing that, and I heard it wasn't even the main event.
It's more heartbreaking than Mariah May and Tony Storm.
Oh, man. Oh.
Man, okay. Well, jumping around here. That angle worked, man. I was devastated at that. It came out of nowhere, man. Devastated.
And I don't want to hear
about that. That's why I called.
I don't want to hear anybody saying that. I don't want to hear people saying AEW can't book. That was a smart, long-term booking angle.
We're looking at you, PJ Polacco. No, you know what? I don't get this long-term booking. It doesn't work. Guess what? This one works, and it's good.
I got a
Real
question
good.
for y'all. So we seen blood last week in AEW with MJF and Daniel Garcia, and then you see it again the next week with Mariah May and Toni Storm. Do you think just a little excessive on the blood over there in AEW?
Yes. If they had saved it if they didn't do it last week and then gave it to Tony for this week, it would have made sense and it would have made it a little bit more special. The problem with AEW, they do allow too much freedom. Maybe they should just cut back and like, listen, we know when you bleed, it generates more views or whatever, but save it. Save it for match X or match Y because we have a big angle with these two A and B wrestlers, and that's when you should use it. You can't use it every week. It gets redundant. It becomes pointless.
Well, Abel, as you may or may not know, I am the general manager of WCW Monday Nitro on WWE 2K23.
You got the blood turned off?
And when the general manager says, hey, you get a bonus if you book 10 Fatal 4-Ways, I'm going to book a Fatal 4-Way all show long, all right? Because I need that bonus. So maybe TK, maybe Mr. NK. Wait, what's his dad's name? Maybe Tony.
Shad.
Oh, Shad. Maybe SK Poppy Chulo there is like, son, I need blood on my wrestling show. And he's like, I want that bonus, Dad. All right. Blood for everyone. I want to be number one GM.
I'll tell you what, that Mariah May and Toni Storm, it got me intrigued.
It makes sense.
What's the next show? All in? Out?
I'm going to miss it, man. I really got into Mariah May just ripping off the old Toni Storm. So then you got the best of both worlds. You got the old Toni Storm, and you got the new one.
Mm-hmm.
And in the battle of extreme blondes, who was the other one? Do we ever figure out her name? The other blonde in AEW that is hooked up with Saraya.
Jesus.
Anyway,
it's not energy.
No, not energy. But between Mariah May, the chick that Saraya is hanging out with, and Tiffany Stratton, who's the best blonde, personally speaking. And for me, Mariah May won that.
Who'd you say? Mariah May, Tiffany Stratton. Who's the other one?
It's that chick she used to hang out with. I think, what's his name? Well, she's with Saraya right now. Paige. So
I know who you're talking about too. Jesus Christ.
She's Australian.
Oh, I'm gonna be so mad because I'll know as soon as we get off the air.
Look it up. Dom's looking it up right now. I can see his eyes.
I know he is too.
Left, right.
I'm looking.
Tab.
I'm trying to see.
Where is Saraya? Tag team partners. No. All right, get back on subject.
Outcast. Yeah.
Harley Cameron?
Harley Cameron.
Yes.
Yeah, her. That's not even her name on Instagram either.
Mariah May for me too. I gotta agree with you on that. Yeah. Tiffany is one of the most athletic females I've seen in recent times, even more so than maybe Io is, but not even Io. Maybe close to Bianca. Bianca's super athletic. That's saying a lot.
Not as athletic as those spot monkeys at NXT Battle. What was that pay-per-view called? Heat and Repeat.
Heat Wave? Oh, when they did the Osprey and the Ricochet match?
Hey, you know what? I heard the review of the show. Made me want to watch it. I haven't yet, but it just made me interested in some of the matches there.
I watched it yesterday. I watched it in its entirety. It was pretty good. Yeah, that Wesley and Obafemi match, that shit was dope.
Although I never cared for the Rascals, and I never will. All three of those jabronis.
I like them.
I know. Fuck. Yeah, you do that. Never liked him.
What about Joe Hendry?
Well, there's another guy. I can't remember their names. I should stop. I don't know.
He's got to show me something. I want to know what's making him so special.
He's a bear.
Tune in.
Tune in.
That's it.
Yes.
He's just over. It's natural. It's organic.
Okay.
He was
Fiddleheads.
He was cool making fun of Top Dollar. That's all we can say.
That's it. All right, so back to this Dustin Rhodes and Arn Anderson. Yes, Arn turned on Dustin Rhodes, but he should have just tagged him. He heated up too much. He did too much. Typical Dusty Rhodes. Want to be like your daddy too much, the elbow, and get beat up and come back. And tag him. So when he finally got in the ring, DDT, your ass. That's it.
Still has one of the best
Terry
DDTs
Funk,
in the game.
the winner. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. So, Dustin, he stayed in the business in WCW, another year or so? To Uncensored 95?
That's right. How many people on the show would be at SummerSlam 1996?
Mero, Dustin, Austin.
Mankind, Mick Foley.
Mick, yep.
Anyway.
Vader made the jump, right?
Yeah, he was there.
He was the main event.
Oof.
Yep, he was there.
Sheesh.
All right, so our next match is for the United States Championship. We have the Dragon Slayer, Stunning Steve Austin, taking on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
So, John, what did your uncle think about this match with Austin?
My uncle. He was
Call
like,
back.
oh,
Call
my
back.
God. Stunning Steve. What's so stunning about Stunning Steve? Going back and watching WCW at this time, you got a lot of Ricky Steamboat, which is great. You got a lot of Rick Rude, which was great, even though at this point he's hurt. And you also got a lot of Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. So, okay, and I see him. When I see Paul Orndorff, all I see is the modern day Kyle O'Reilly, because they both have weak appendages due to injuries. It's sad to see.
Wow.
But
wow.
So anyway, the United States Championship here. Yeah, I like this match a lot. It was, how could you not? Just what happened? Like with all these guys, what happened? Stunning Steve, man, he had it right here. He had it. He had everything. He had it going. He had the momentum. He had the character down.
He had hair.
What
was happening? But
he's not. There's only one room for one blonde in this promotion, and he's not 6'7", 300 pounds with 23-inch pythons, brother.
What was funny is hearing Steve Austin call a spot. He called it. I heard it. He's like, finish, and Ricky Steamboat did his finish, the stun gun.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I was like, all right. It was like a couple of segments later, but I was like, all right, that's how you guys do things. Finish. Stun gun.
So I enjoyed this match. It was a young, stunning Steve Austin trying to, basically be the main eventer, in which he ended up being years later. Ricky Steamboat, this is 1994. In 1987, that amazing match that everybody still talk about. Then he took a break, a little hiatus, and then he came back in 89. 89, he came back, killed it with Ric Flair, and I think he took a little break again, I want to say, after that. Maybe after 1990, and then he disappeared for maybe 2 years or so, 2-3 years. Next thing he's back in the WCW scene.
He was back and forth a lot. I can't fault the guy for wanting to be a family man and stay at home with your kids. I give a lot of respect to anybody like that, because these days you don't know what's going on in the family. But, man, like you said, Ricky and Steve, as soon as I saw that, I was just a kid in the candy store. Because I didn't really, like I said, I didn't grow up watching WCW, so I didn't get to see this type of Austin. I was expecting the brawler, the guy that was just kicking ass and taking names, but he was more that chicken shit heel. He was more that Ric Flair light, which I guess he tried to emulate all these years until he got hurt. It works no matter what anyone tells you. Oh, Ric Flair's the same match all the time, and no matter what you, hey, still puts on a great show. Can go hour and a half, and it's still entertaining. You just gotta learn how to change those move sets and just figure it out on your own. But a Ricky Steamboat match, tell me when I've seen a bad Ricky Steamboat match, especially with all the highs and lows it's got. The back and forth, the slow, the highs when they would go with the reversals. I was just out of my seat. I'm like, I wasn't expecting all that, especially with Austin at that time.
Steamboat put on some bangers, but how come you don't think he's like in like nobody's Mount Rushmore of like top wrestlers of all time? Because he had bangers with Austin, Savage, Flair.
Promos.
Like, you think that's what it was? Like, you can really talk.
That's what it is. Everyone's always said it between Brett and Sean. Who would you take? It's always Sean. Why? The promo. Brett had the promo, but it wasn't until later in his career, and unfortunately, Don's best friend freaking kicked him into fucking the moon, so he couldn't wrestle anymore.
You should have listened. He said, "Watch out for the kick."
Yeah. Hey, he tells you watch out for the kick.
Maybe you can use the reason that Flair always said that Ricky Steamboat could never be one of the greats because he never worked heel. And, you know, like in real life, a lot of people in relationships, not just romantic ones, but interpersonally, friends and so forth. You know, like, have you ever had a friend or someone you know, you've never had an argument with them? You've never had not like a terrible thought or a bad thought about someone, but you know, you don't really get to know someone until you get to see both sides of them. You see the nice side of them, and you see like a negative side of them. They don't have. It doesn't always have to be bad. It doesn't have. They don't have to, you know, throw a pebble in your eye to make them a bad guy. You know, they could just be like, "Hey, man, can I have that Snickers bar out of your lunch bag?" No, you cannot. It's like, come on, man. All right, you're a bad guy
back
now.
to Snickers.
Get back to Snickers. You know, but if you have that surface level relationship with some people, like at work, you know, hi, how you doing? You never see, and you say hi, how you doing to them every single day, but you don't know their name, you don't know their last name, and you don't know what department they work at. You just see them every single day. Hey, how are you? Good, good. 10 years go on. I think it's a little late for me to ask this person's name, you know, because you just keep it nice. You know, you never really get into it with them. I digress.
So where are you going to? What's this got to do with Ricky Steamboat?
But Ricky Steamboat never showed a heel side, so he was a very one-dimensional character. You only know him as a good guy. How much love can you show someone, and if you only see one side of him, and you don't know what the other side is? Maybe he doesn't have another side. Maybe he is just as good all the time. Very unlikely, because he was divorced. But, yeah.
What about Rey Mysterio?
Rey Mysterio? Well,
Even though he's a deadbeat dad.
He is a deadbeat dad. End of story.
Terrible. Terrible.
Anyway.
You guys going to hell.
So Dom said.
Oh. You would say that, Dom.
In the womb!
Should have given him that S-Class. Not that, whatever version it was.
You can't figure it out either. All right.
I think it was E-Class.
E-Class, whatever. Anyways, this match matters. Ricky Steamboat and stunning Steve Austin. I won't say Stone Cold, but stunning. He was stunning at this time.
What?
Yes. All right. So after this, we see me, Gene Okerlund backstage with Arn Anderson, Bunkhouse Buck, Colonel Parker, and Terry Funk, and they celebrating. And Arn, why did you do that? And he just gave his explanation. Should have tagged him, basically.
Oh, the weakest fucking reason. But like I said, chalk it up to being a Rhodes and Andersons. They don't mix well. It's the Hatfields and the McCoys. Never gonna happen.
That's right,
Yes.
Uncle Phil.
It makes you
All
think,
right,
why does Cody want Arn to be his mentor so bad then? Jeez Louise.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Don't you know he's going to have a...
That was such a good promo.
That's
shit
one of
went
the
viral.
greatest promos all time.
So,
And he was not a wrestler at the time. That's the crazy thing. Probably one of the best promos AEW will ever have.
They need to bring him back.
Arn, I was just trying to get some orange juice, man. You ain't gotta bring that Glock out.
Glock Anderson.
I should have got that shirt.
Still can on Pro Wrestling Tees. Where's your crate?
Probably in next week, hopefully. Maybe.
What's the theme? Do you know?
Let's see. It is July, so
Must be Bret Shart's
must be
birthday.
hardcore because it's got John Moxley, Mick Foley, and Penta Zero M.
That
So that's
hardcore wrestler
hardcore.
from TNA?
Yes.
You're
No,
gonna get a PJ Polacco T-shirt.
maybe. Because
That's
it's just
extreme.
incredible. It's not just the
That's
greatest, not just the best.
What's the line?
Not
It's
just
just-
the coolest, not just the best, just incredible.
And Don practiced that for 20 weeks.
Yes.
40
Yeah,
days.
until I had to say it, and then shit, I fucked it.
Silly
All
kid.
right.
Tricks are for kids.
We'll fix it
All
in
right, so our
post.
next match is for the tag titles. We have Pretty Wonderful Paul Orndorff and Paul Roma taking on Kevin Sullivan with Dave Sullivan and Cactus Jack.
What an odd couple.
Go ahead, Dom. Ask me.
Lord.
Go ahead.
I had nothing to ask you, but this is just
Because the answer is I don't know. I don't know why our Kevin Sullivan is teaming with Mick Foley. It makes no sense
That's not
either.
I could understand them two being a tag team because they both have like that vicious side to them, but I don't understand why Kevin Sullivan is a babyface. I never recall him being a babyface.
In my life, I have never, ever seen Kevin Sullivan the babyface.
And he didn't even get cheered.
He was trying. Did you hear him bark? He's like, whoa.
He was trying, but
And why
the
was this
match
on the
went too
show?
long for one.
This was the
It
worst
was-
match on the show.
It was. The fans were loud because they were doing the wave.
Oh,
Yes. Is that new at the time? Was the wave big in '94?
And maybe.
It was the '80s.
Dom, you was a WCW guy. Where are the Steiners at this time? Were they just coming back from WWF, or are they still over there?
Young Grasshopper. They're still in WWF.
I
Because
wonder why.
I knew that, but I was also watching the other day
Amy.
the A&E biography of the Steiner brothers. So they left WCW because Bill Watts, he's pushing his son Eric Watts to the moon,
Stupid.
and Scotty, he didn't like that. And he was like, a lot of people deserve his spot, so they quit. Or yeah, basically they quit. Bill Watts like, I'll resign Rick, but I'm not gonna resign your brother. He's like, all right, we're walking. So Vince called him. That's how they became one of the top tag teams at the time. After that, they didn't. They felt like they wasn't getting paid as they should, so they left WWF. They was only there maybe like a year, maybe two, and then they went to New Japan. And then that's when they started clicking. And then that's when Bischoff called them, let's do this. And it just
because
worked out.
I think I heard in a previous podcast with Bruce, he was saying that they were going to push Scotty if he had stayed, because Scotty was that dude even back then. I was like very impressed. He was doing like the Frankenstein and all that at the time, right? From the top rope and all.
Yeah. Did you guys
That's
see? I know
crazy.
we all watch. What was it? Money in the Bank. That was the recent one. Money in the Bank. Did you see that Frankensteiner Hurricane Braun Breaker did? That shit was so clean. Like he just ran up the ropes and just like laughed and just boom. Oh my god.
He's scary. That dude is.
My goodness.
He's gonna be the top dog in 2 years.
I see that.
2 years max. He's not. You might not even need that. There's no way you missed the boat on this guy, unless barring an injury. Knock on wood,
Oh Lord.
barring an injury. That dude has it all. He's got the look. He can talk. He can wrestle. And his freakish athleticism. When he does the spear, I'm like, I played high school football. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man, he's gonna hurt somebody.
Shit, look at him running the ropes. Yo, that man, he is fast, man.
Yeah. You can just tell that generates so much violence just in that spear. I don't know if I want to take that. I'm sorry. I played ball plenty of times, but no thanks.
Let me see him and Brock go at it one time.
You want to crown him? Then crown his ass. I said it.
Man. Yeah, I never been hyped about a wrestler like that in a while.
Yeah. I've known you for many years, and seeing that glimmer in your eye, you're just about looking like Paul Heyman was with fucking when he had the tribal teeth. Just
that's how I was when Goldberg got on the scene. The same way. I'm like, yo, this dude, he's intense. Then he got
he
exploited.
didn't even say a word. Mr. Goldberg, what are your intentions here?
Basically, that was it. Complete silence. Walk away. So I don't know. I got to think about it. I'll let you know in like 3 months.
You'll know right around Royal Rumble season.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's for sure.
John's a little quiet. He's like, fuck this guy.
John don't like Braun Breaker.
He's a legacy. It's hard to ignore it, man. When you got it, you got it. Not just for nepotism. You just got it.
Herpes?
What?
He said, because I said I got it.
Oh, Lord.
I walked into that one.
He's got that dog in him. Herpes.
Oh.
Ow, ow, ow.
Oh, we're going to get canceled.
All right. Back to this pretty wonderful match.
Only if we get paid.
So this match went like almost 20 minutes long.
Oh, it's just
Jesus.
bad, man.
Oh,
terrible.
my goodness, yo.
Jesus.
And then the finish of the match was Mankind finally got Cactus Jack finally got in the ring and he started cleaning house. And then all of a sudden, Paul Orndorff goes for the pile driver and Paul Roma pulls a man's leg, and that's it.
Can I tell you
they lose the title?
That if you were noticing throughout this match, Kevin Sullivan refused to bump at all. Like, he would take a clothesline. He would, instead of you take a clothesline, you bump, right? He would take a clothesline. He would spin off and just take one leg down and sit on his butt. He would take another move. Same thing. He would not take any bumps. And
I noticed that too.
This is something like DDP was accused of in WWF. Like, DDP he's not bumping. He ain't bumping right. So what do you mean? He's just taking bumps in a weird way. And that's what he was doing. And it was just very interesting to me that Kevin Sullivan, a veteran of the industry, refuses to take bumps. That's all.
Taskmaster. Master.
Assmaster.
This match doesn't matter. It was too damn long. And would I watch it again? No. And I've seen this show plenty of times. This is like one of my childhood moments right here. I remember back on VHS back in the day. And I always skip this match.
Good to know.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Main event time. The match that should have took place 2 years before this at WrestleMania 8. We have Michael Buffer in the ring. So you know it's a big fight feel when Michael Buffer's in the ring. You have the commissioner, Nick Botwinkle. He pops up. We got Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq from the Orlando Magics. And then Ric Flair comes out with the purple robe. That shit was clean. I like that shit. Real clean. Then you have Hulk Hogan. Did you like his theme song?
Yeah. It was actually it's fitting for WCW.
It was dope. I think Jimmy Hart.
They're both pretty good. Which one you like more? American the WWF version or this one?
I would have to say Real American, just because I hear that more than the WCW one, like still to this day. And that song like still gets me hyped to this day. Like I heard it at Yankee Stadium one time. Like, oh, all right, it's dope. Rick Derringer, Real American.
I mean, I'm a big WWF guy, but I'm not gonna lie, I love the American made shit. I don't know what it was. It was different.
I mean, you could argue
that
Real American can be played inconspicuously and no one would notice, but you couldn't do the same with WCW Hogan's version. And I'll tell you what, at a somewhat recent Norwich Sea Unicorns game, the guy behind the booth playing music during the innings, he was a wrestling fan. Because wrestling fans know wrestling fans, and when you sneak in certain theme songs, we know who you are, and we will find you. And we will thank you for putting Alter Bridge Metalingus out for the fans at Don Stadium.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the You Think You Know Me, dun, 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 no, the actual song.
So. Well, obviously, they can't do that, because...
Good big giveaway. But,
yep.
You can always tell.
My man. All right, now get us back on track.
I ain't gonna lie, that was dope though.
What?
Hogan's theme song, WCW.
But you don't have his CD, Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling Boot Band, brother.
No.
I got it for free.
Did you have it? Did you get his what? Like Pasta Mania? Did you have that?
I wish. I looked up the Hulk Hogan Thunder Mixer. You know that story, right?
No.
No? You didn't know? You didn't know that Hulk Hogan was the original choice for the George Foreman grill?
Yep.
I did hear that.
Right,
well, supposedly.
Because Linda wouldn't answer the phone, brother. So the only thing Hulk Hogan could get was a drink mixer called the Hulk Hogan Thunder Mixer. And the only thing that makes it a Hulk Hogan Thunder drink mixer is a little piece of sticker that says Hulk Hogan Thunder Mixer on the container. What a piece of crap otherwise. Let me put my name on my microwave. It's the John Lee microwave oven.
Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Did you watch Thunder in Paradise?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that was my show. I watched that shit.
With the boat. That dude that he worked with, he was in the front row next to Linda.
That's crazy. And you see why Dom could have been the top guy, because he can both go heel and babyface. All in one move.
Did you see that convict in the front row too?
Who?
Nick Hogan.
Yeah, he's a joker, right?
And did you see Bully Ray's wife? Brooke, she was there too.
I know.
Do
Keep
you
going,
know
Dom.
who I
Come on. Finish it.
No,
come on.
That's it. That's all
you need to be on the roast of Hulk Hogan next time.
You don't want to mention Turner Network executive, this other dude in the front row?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
I know why Dom won't be involved in it.
If I was on the Hulk Hogan roast, he'll fire me before I even get there.
I know why.
Your jokes are a little too dark.
That's it.
Not blue. Just dark.
You're not tan enough.
That's it. No real American beer for me.
The only beer you get is broken.
What?
Oh, Jesus. I'm dying here. Come on, Dom. Finish this.
Oh, Lord. It's only the beginning.
I know.
All right. So, like I said, guys, this match should have took place 2 years ago. We finally got it. A lot of commotion. We have Mr. T, who didn't look like Mr. T from WrestleMania 1. He looked washed up, old. We have Sherry. She's in there doing everything that she could in her nature, like what she usually does. But overall, it was an entertaining match. There's a lot of commotion going on, and this was Hogan's first match in WCW.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Oh, you didn't have a practice match with Rikishi or something? No.
Who knows? But earlier in the day, they showed a video of when Sting got injured. He was just sitting there, just like this, at ringside. I just thought about when he did that when WrestleMania 4. Same thing. He was sitting in the aisleway with Ted DiBiase and Macho Man. Make sure no interference.
Sting?
Ridiculous. No, Hogan, just sitting there in the right in front of the ring.
Oh yeah, he's just sitting there, just like,
what should I do now, brother? What should I do?
I'm like, what are you doing? Stop.
All right, but it was an entertaining bout. It wasn't technical. Wasn't really flashy, but it's Hogan's first match inside the WCW ring, and it was good for what it was. But I still wish it was on that major platform of WrestleMania. What do you guys think about it?
I can see your point because they were at WWF and they would have made it a spectacle that you would have loved, especially you loving WWF like you do now. You really they would have took it all the way to the top. But to be honest, the match it was a Ric Flair led match. If you don't realize it, I'm just watching the whole thing and I'm just like, Flair's telling Hogan what to do for the most part. And Hogan has his spots every now and then that he put in probably. But
that's what the heel's supposed to do. The heel calls the match.
But you're thinking like Hogan really didn't let a lot of the guys call the match. He was the guy pretty much having the match set out. And thinking about it, Flair is a lot different than most of the giants he usually goes against, where they can really like wear it down on him and stuff. Flair had to use like his smarts and his technical prowess to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna chop this guy down, completely different than all these big men. And it's probably one of the best matches I've ever seen Hogan in compared to him and Mach, man, because Mach can just have a fucking match with anybody and it'd be amazing. Just comparing those guys, but it was like you said, it wasn't the greatest match of all time, but for a guy who hasn't been wrestling in 2 or 3 years to come back, win the title, and still be relevant to another company, it's amazing to Hulk Hogan's fame and credit to him for keeping up with Flair, because if Flair was in that match, there's no way we would have gotten that fanfare like we did. At least not that I can think of.
Says, you listen to me, you go to the top. If you don't listen to me, well, nobody hears from you. Question for you guys. So since this was in Florida, Orlando, that's basically Hogan territory. Do you think if this was down in the Carolinas, down south in Georgia or something like that, do you think that Hogan would get that reaction?
Nope. The way the Carolinas loved Flair and the way they treated him, that whole crowd would have went ex-nay. And they said, nope, fuera.
So they did it right. They did it right then.
Yeah.
So they tried, later on, they tried to, keep pushing Hogan, and they bring in the old opponents that he had in WWF, and obviously it didn't work. It got stale, so it worked out 2 years later at Bash at the Beach again, and Hogan's career got rejuvenated. 2 years later.
I just really wish Hogan was a part of the match from the beginning. That way, it would have made that impact even more incredible. Just because, we were kind of shocked as kids, like, he's not going to turn on us. But Bobby had it from the get go. He's the third member, so when he dropped that leg drop, I was like, "This is happening."
I think it was perfect the way it was played out. Cause we didn't know.
I would swap out.
Like Luger got hurt early.
I would swap out Luger for Hogan.
I would have put Flair on there.
You're gonna keep Macho Man and Sting in? Was it Sting or?
It was Sting. I don't know if it was all about WCW and this. They weren't the NWO at the time. This other group from the Hostile Takeover. I definitely would have had somebody who was that top guy from WCW, Ric Flair. I'd have Ric Flair, Sting, get along, and then maybe Ric Flair turn on one more time, Sting on one more time. Tease, but I don't know. It was just could have just worked out. You never know.
What if you did that? Let's pull the what ifs. You get rid of Mach. You put Ric Flair in. You remove Lex and you have Hogan in there. you have the swerve of Ric Flair turning on Sting again, but you have the ultimate swerve where the outsiders just sit back and let Hogan turn on WCW as soon as he sees that, and everyone's like, but he's going like,
That would have been pretty dope. Have a double swerve.
yeah,
Oh my God, it's Ric Flair.
no,
What are you doing, brother? What are you doing? Relax. Next, you know, big boot, leg drop.
you
That
it was
dope.
already impactful as it was, but Easy, why didn't you think of this?
I still don't know why Flair wasn't on that card. Bash at the Beach '96.
Probably wasn't getting along with Easy.
His name wasn't drawn out of the hat.
And I really don't remember that whole show. To be honest with
That's how their names are chosen, randomly. Sting, Luger, and Macho.
I don't know.
Terrible.
I love Macho.
I ain't wearing no face paint.
Probably. I don't know. When you hear WCW, you don't think Macho Man and Lex, in my opinion. Maybe Lex had the better of his career in WCW, but I don't know. I just feel like he's still associated with WWF more for some weird reason.
I got Lex for WCW.
Really?
Well,
yeah.
It wasn't going to be Alex Wright.
That's not good. That's Lunderkin.
That's not cool. Anyway.
No, you're right.
Hey, during this matchup, previewing this very heel turn you're talking about, where during the whole match, like, Hogan is not, he would never hit a woman. He would never hit Sensational Queen Sherry. At the end of this match, like, he nailed Sherry all right, but he made it look like an accident.
Yeah.
And that's how, he's just like, oh, I hit her. That was intentional, man. That was an intentional bullshit. This is why, Hogan, you've been a bad guy since day one. Everyone's just overlooked it. You scratching the eyes and you taking some shortcuts. You're a bad
breaking
man.
The back.
You're a bad man, Hulk Hogan.
I agree, man. I've said that to Don so many times. I've watched so many Hogan matches. I'm like, he's a goddamn heel. He is not a babyface.
He has a lot of heel tendencies.
How did we not see that?
So, Strat, what do you think about the match?
I thought it was, was it a great match? It was. It was a great match. It wasn't like a typical, there's no Will Ospreay. There's no Seth Rollins in here. There's no Gunther. But for who they are and what it was a really great match. It was the best match these two could ever have, and they would continue to repeat this style of match for the next 7 years and more. They worked really well together, and you said that Ric Flair called the match. I could see that, because Hogan only starts matches in one of two ways. He either runs into the ring and gets hit right away, or he does the lockup and he throws the guy across, and they do a back and forth until whatever happens. And
Yep.
I was thinking about this. I was thinking about Hogan having lots of great matches. A lot of them just one time. Of course, he had a bunch of matches with Macho and Flair and Sting, but name the memorable ones. Okay, fine. Starrcade '97. Him and Luger the week before Road Wild. Excuse me. Him and Flair had a bunch of matches. I had better examples, but I'm forgetting them right now. But him and
Hogan.
Him and Goldberg. So Hogan can work. Not like I said, is he a great wrestler? No, but he can just work. And in this match, that's what he did. And even when Ric Flair had Hogan in the corner and was throwing some punches, and Shaquille O'Neal was right there watching Ric Flair hit none of them, not even touching. Fun stuff, man. But
yes, sir.
It was worth the money, man. Worth the money.
Yes.
All right, so the Bash of the Beach 1994. Does this show matter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you watch it again?
I watch it Dom style. Skipping that stupid ass Kevin Sullivan tag match.
I watched 3 matches: the beginning, the middle, the end.
Think of it this way. Think of the entire...
All the titles.
Think of the undercard as one giant audition to Hulk Hogan. Like, this is who we are. We are in WCW. You're either going to like us and keep us and push us, or we're going to get fired in the next 2 years and show up at SummerSlam in the Gund Arena.
Yep.
Say goodbye.
Literally.
Say goodbye, you fat-ass Mick Foley. Cactus Jack. Say goodbye, you broken neck Steve Austin. Say goodbye, you turncoat or coat-turned Dustin Rhodes. Get out of here, all of you J-Brones. Johnny B. Bad, you too, brother. Get out of here. Want you in the other
You know
company.
how better tan than me, brother.
You take your hot wife with you.
Now, on Peacock, did you stay till the end of the show? After the celebration?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why did I
off.
do that?
It was so dumb, but you get to see a little bit of Hogan out of his element a little bit, you know. He was in love with Hacksaw. I don't even think Hacksaw debuted on TV yet. Or maybe he did.
Hey, Hacksaw, you look like you lost a few pounds. Good, brother. Good job.
And they're trying to push like, hey, Hogan's here, partying in the back with this guy, Brian Pillman. And Pillman's trying to get closer and closer to the camera.
I know, he's just like...
Hey, there's Marcus Bagwell there, too. And Hogan's like, yeah, I like this, brother. I like this.
All right, guys. Well, good ass show. I ain't gonna lie. We made the show stretch an hour and 12 minutes at the moment.
Yes.
But next week is gonna be an epic show. Hell, it might even be heartbreaking. Because next week we're gonna talk about all things Shawn Michaels. Since somebody got a birthday coming up. It's gonna be a heartbreak episode.
Come on, Roger.
Roger.
I'm gonna see I get him on the show for next week.
Oh, we know Roger. Rose, I'm calling you out, boy. We're coming for you.
And we'll give
We
you
know who you want.
Give you the good camera.
Yes. And also next week on Wrestling That Made Us, we have Strat Facts. It's gonna be on the show.
Are you
And me and
for
him
real?
gonna sit down and we're gonna discuss WrestleMania 18, Hogan, and The Rock.
That's right. Hogan
It's gonna be a good show.
Hogan using neither Real American or that other one.
American made.
American made.
It's gonna be a
Using
good show.
Voodoo Child.
Yes. So tune in, like, comment, subscribe, share. It Doesn't Matter podcast. We're doing all things. We want to hear more from y'all. Hell, we want to hear from y'all. Write one comment, damn it. One comment.
Shit, want to let you on the podcast, especially Randy.
Yes, Randy. Got to get you on the show.
Get on the goddamn pod already.
Yes. Pop up. Hell, we'll come to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drown will drive.
Because we don't know where you live. But we know how to get to you.
That's it. All right, Platino, shut us down.
All right, everybody. Again, the shutdown queue. Checking into the Heartbreak Hotel. We calling my man Rose. We calling you out there, Chico. But we only got 2 words for you. See you. That's the words. I'm not saying it. Oh.
Rose, we calling you out. We want to see you next week on the It Doesn't Matter podcast. Talk about all things Shawn Michaels. Well, until then, I'm the Notorious One. I am Dom. I'm here with Strap Facts. I'm here with the new daddy, Poppy Platino. And we will see you next week.